Okay, so while this is heating up, I'm going to, you have a summative coming up that is on some of the stuff that we've already done.
Are you recording now?
Where's that? Yes.
Where is it?
Don't worry about it, please. So we have this review sheet, and I'm going to go over review with you. If you have a summative quiz / short test coming up on this information, what do you think is a good idea to be doing?
Taking notes.
Taking notes. So here is this that you can follow along with, and this goes in order with this. Let's see if we can turn on to me.
Where is your camera, man?
Doesn't matter, Leo. It's not turning on either right now. Irving's the technical.
I know, first hour it went so well, didn't it?
I
You guys
know.
know where it is now?
Here, I can.
Thank you. So I'm gonna press it, Leah. There. All right, does everyone have a sheet? Okay. So, she's sitting back there now. Cask of Macchiato is what we are reading. What do you think your summative assignment is going to be on? Cask of Macchiato. So it might be a good idea to have this out while we are taking notes. And if you think of any ideas, jot them down.
Is this where we write our notes on?
Yep, you're going to write your notes on this, and it goes in order with the presentation. And you don't need to write down every single word for word. Just write down what is going to help you remember everything. So first things first, characters. Characterization, direct versus indirect. Direct characterization. The author or narrator directly tells you what a character is like, what the personality of the character is. So while you're taking notes on this, you don't need to write down everything. Maybe just write down explicitly or directly tells us the personality of the character. For instance, yes, these are examples. So you write down what's in gray. So this is an example. Can anybody read this example for me?
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Steve all had with a tiny body which was red and shriveled or like an old man.
Yeah, so what's this from, first of all?
Scarlet Ivy.
Scarlet Ibis. And you'll notice also is a direct quote. Therefore, I have quotes. Exactly what it says in the passage. Quotes, page number, period. This is telling us exactly how Doodle looks. He's got this tiny shriveled little body like an old man, and he's got this big old balloon head. Directly tells us how the character looks. Indirect characterization is the author is giving you information, but you need to draw inferences from it based as a reader. You need to come up with your own idea of what's happening. And it says right here, drawing his or her own conclusions. So this is an example of indirect. Can I get a volunteer to read this one? Leah?
Okay. Daddy had Mr. Heat. Now, the carpenter built a little coffin for him.
Yeah, so if a little mahogany coffin is being built for Doodle, what can we infer about Doodle, Allison?
Doodle is small child.
He's small, and what else? If you're building a coffin for someone, what does that mean? Yeah, he's going to die. So we've got this little baby, like Allison said, who is going to die. He's got bad health. You drew your own conclusions based on this one sentence. Questions about direct versus indirect?
Well, don't switch it.
You don't need to write down the examples. Just write down the definition. And you don't need to write down the whole thing again. So maybe for indirect, since I'm assuming everyone's on that, you might just write down allows the reader to come up with his or her own conclusion.
Nice.
Still need more time for that?
No, don't.
Conclusion? CONCLUSION. Alright, so in indirect conclusion, what was the acronym that we used on the sheet? STEAL. Does anybody remember what they all mean? What do they stand for? Dorothy?
I know E is effect on others and L is looks.
Yep.
That's what and A is action.
Actions. Yeah, you're just missing two. So we've got speech. What is the character saying? If I say to somebody, oh, you look really nice tonight or today, what does that kind of mean? How do I feel about that person?
Elsie. You think they're pretty.
Yeah, you think they're pretty, maybe you even like them. Thoughts. If I'm thinking inside of my head that snake is getting awfully close, how do I feel about snakes?
Scared.
Yeah, I'm afraid of them. I don't like them. Effects on others. How is the character affecting others? What do other people think about them? Actions. If I go and I punch someone in the head, how do I feel about that person?
You don't like them very
You
much.
don't like that. Now, I know none of you are punching people in the head. Shouldn't be punching the people in the head, but just in case you see anybody else do it, it probably means they don't like it. Looks. If I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt and my hood is up, my hands are in my pockets, and I'm walking out the door like this, based on how I look, I may be tired. What else? Suspicious. What else? Shy. I'm sad. Depressed. Lonely. So based on how you look, you can draw your own conclusion about how somebody feels. Alright, so then our next one. Protagonist versus antagonist. Protagonist does not mean the positive person in the story. It means the main character of the story. This person is directly impacted by the storyline or affects the storyline in some way. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily a positive person, like we talked about in the first one, or in the first class. Dracula. Dracula's going around and biting people's necks off. Well, not off, but biting their necks and he's bleeding them to death. Is that a positive person?
No.
No, but is he the main character in the story? Or in the movie? Yes. Another one Miss Beauchamp came up with is horror films. If you think of the movie Scream or Freddy Krueger or anything like that, that murderer is the main character of the story. If you're going around killing people, are you a positive person in society?
Nope.
No. So protagonist is not always positive. The antagonist of the story always goes against the protagonist. They're doing anything and everything to stop that person. So, for instance, how is Curly the antagonist to Lenny? Yeah, why doesn't he like Lenny?
People just wait.
Well, that's another one, but what else? Right in the beginning. What's that? Yeah, Curly doesn't like big guys, and he is going to act against Lenny. Lenny's the main character of the story. So, protagonist and antagonist, does it mean positive, negative? No. It means main character, and then whatever is going against it. And there's this note that it can be a force of nature. If my goal or if my job in life is to deliver mail to people and I have to do it at a specific time and I have to walk to do it, and the one day that I have this really important letter and there's a huge snowstorm, what's the antagonist in that story?
This is a snowstorm.
The snowstorm. So it doesn't always need to be a person. Does that make sense for everyone? Alright. So then we've got round versus flat characters. A round character is complicated and interesting. George Milton, when you're reading about him, he's interesting to read about. You're fascinated by what's going on because he's developing throughout the story. You kind of get to know him a little bit better than, let's say, Carlson, who would be a flat character who is simple and underdeveloped. This character is kind of boring to read about. You don't read about him that often. You might even forget about him. So if you are going on a walk, let's say you're walking around a block. That's a little more interesting than walking down to the end of the street and back. End of the street and back. More complicated, but very simple. Question questions about round and flat?
No.
Alright, then we also have static and
More?
dynamic. Even more. So a static character grows or changes very little or not at all. So if we look at this and we think about this as being the character's growth, they might only grow this little bit and then they're flatlined. Or they don't even grow this and they just stay the same the entire time. They are static. And remember we used the example of a TV. If your TV is static, is it going to change? Are you going to get a picture? No, it's just going to keep that static in it. There's no channel there. A dynamic character jumps over milestones and changes emotionally. They grow in their development. So we have a static character, Lenny. Lenny is a protagonist. Does he change throughout the story at all? No, I mean he's dead in the end, but he does not grow at all.
So technically it does change because Funko changed from alive to now.
Does his personality
dead.
change?
No.
No. So then we've got George on the other hand. In the beginning of the story, does George automatically say, I'm going to shoot Lenny and get him out of the way? No, he does not say that. It takes this huge event. What's the huge event? Lenny killing Curly's wife. It takes this huge event before he says, I need to do something about this before Curly kills him. He changes in how he thinks about everything. He cares about Lenny a lot, but he knows he needs to make a change in both of their lives. Can somebody sum up for me really quickly, round and flat? Allison.
Round is someone who's complicated, always changing, always keeping on their seat.
Yeah.
And a flat is just a simple character that, like, you pretty much know what's gonna happen next to them. They're not that exciting as a round.
And they might not even be in the store that often, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so questions about any of those characterizations? Alright, so then we've got literary elements. Plot. A plot of a story tells what's happening, what's going on in the story. If I'm telling you what happened during my weekend, I'm giving you the plot line of my weekend. In Of Mice and Men, George and Lenny are running away from weed. Why are they running away? What was Lenny doing? Yeah, she had a nice skirt on. He wanted to feel it. Then Candy's dog is shot. Then we've got Curly and Lenny fighting because Curly hates what? Lenny and big guys, and Lenny just happens to be a big guy. Then Lenny kills Curly's wife. Ugh. Big event in the story leads to George shooting Lenny. Does anybody know what this is called? Lenny Curl's climax of the story. Very good. And the climax is going to be the most important event in the story that dramatically alters the story. And that happens here. Allison.
Wouldn't George shot Lenny, wouldn't that be a climax also?
Well, you need something to get to that. So what is the event that led to that?
Oh.
It's that Curly's wife was shot, and that's the reason that George had to shoot Lenny. Or, excuse me, she was killed, she was strangled. Thank you, Nicole. Alright, so then we've got a symbol. It is a word or an object that stands for another word or object. So in the Scarlet Ibis, we have the mahogany coffin that symbolizes Doodle's death. The mahogany coffin, it was made, we talked about this in the indirect characterization, and you guys automatically said, oh, it might mean that Doodle's going to die. That was a symbol. What is another very, very, very obvious symbol in the Scarlet Ibis? What is the Scarlet Ibis a symbol for? Doodle's death. The Ibis dies probably means that Doodle's going to die. What is the symbol for America? Yeah, the flag and the Statue of Liberty.
eagle.
Eagle. There's a lot of symbols. Everybody have this one down? Alright,
First time for everything.
theme. What is the author trying to tell you? What is the message in the story? What's going on? Scarlet Ibis has a ton of events. You've got the memory in the past. The narrator's going around talking about his memories with his brother. What happened in the past and why is it important? Also, we've got guilt and blame. Who feels guilt in this story? Doodle's brother feels guilt, and he kind of blames himself for Doodle's death. Love for a brother.
Your favorite story?
I was. Love for a brother. Does his brother necessarily love him right off the bat? No. He wanted to striggle or suffocate him with a pillow. Not a lot of love. Last, we have pride can be cruel. How so?
Doodle's brother wanted to teach him how to draw and all that stuff. Doodle wanted to
Yeah, but then what happens in the end?
Doodle's brother pushed him.
Yeah, so he's all proud of teaching him how to do all these things, even though he originally did it for himself, and even though he was proud of it, Doodle ended up dying. Another example of a symbol. Can anyone help her out? What's another example of a symbol? And are you just looking in general? Well, we have the American flag that we gave. What's a symbol that might be of mice and men?
Mouse. The mouse.
Yeah, what would the mouse be a symbol for?
Buddy and his feelings towards soft.
Mm-hmm. What about when Carlson's dog dies? What could that be a symbol for? Candy's dog dies, excuse me. And how does Candy's dog die? He gets shot. So Candy's dog dies by getting shot. What is that a symbol of?
Someone you love passing away.
Yep. Who specifically in the story?
Lenny.
Yeah, George shot Lenny. Candy's dog gets shot, symbolizes Lenny getting shot by George. Alright. So then we've got foreshadowing. A hint or a clue about what will happen. For. Where have you heard the word for? What is it in? Okay. Before. So something is happening before that is shadowing what is going to happen. So if I'm standing up here, before me is all of this, what's behind me? What's on the board that's of me? My shadow. If I stand like this, my shadow is before me, and I'm going to shadow events that are going to happen in the future. Questions about foreshadowing? We have some examples up here that we already talked about. The Scarlet Ibis dying, representing what? Is foreshadowing. Yeah, so it's a symbol and or a way to foreshadow the future. All right, so we've got setting, time, place, and mood of the story. Can anyone read this for me?
It takes place in the 1930s in California, mostly at Tyler.
Yeah, so we've got the time, 1930s. We've got the place, California at Tyler Ranch. What about the mood? What is the mood of Mice and Men?
Kind of depressed.
Depressed. Maybe lonely. We've got hard workers that are lonely and depressed.
Slave.
Maybe happiness for like their dreams.
Happiness, yeah. So there's all these moods that also make up the setting of the story. Questions on any of those? Plot, theme, symbol, foreshadowing, setting. Questions? All right. The last one, writing. Summary versus reader response. A summary is your retelling of the story, the basic events, the main events of the story. What's going on? Can somebody read this for me?
The Scarlet Ibis by James First is about a brotherly relationship in which the narrator is reflecting on his memories with Doodle. Due to a heart condition, Doodle was not expected to live very long. The story leads up to the Doodle's favorite of the story.
Perfect, thank you. In there, do I ever include myself? Do I say I?
No.
No. In a summary, you are not doing that. You're also only giving the main events. I didn't say anything about Doodle sat on the floor and talked to his brother. I'm not giving those. If I'm telling you about my weekend, I'm not going to say, so I put on these pair of shoes and I put on this pair of pants and then I curled my hair. I'm not telling you that. I'm just going to say, yeah, I got dressed and then I went to work. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to give you every detail. Because if I give you every detail of a book, what's stopping you from just going and reading the book?
It's boring.
You need to only focus on the main ideas.
You still want details.
When you are giving a reader response, however, the name itself puts you, the reader, in it. This is your time to be a critic of the story and give your opinion of the story. You, as the reader, how are you responding to the story? Can I get anybody to read this one for me? Kaylee?
A Mice and Men, John Steinbeck, is a touching story about the lives of two friends. The end of the book is really gloomy and breaks my heart because it's really depressing that Mommy had to be shot. However, I think it's good that George was one to do it instead of Curly, who would have been brutal and reckless. I would recommend this book to all.
Perfect, thank you. How do you spell what? Opinion?
O-P-I-O-N.
O-P-I-N-I-O-N. Close. Okay, so in this one, I put my opinion in there. But I'm not just saying, this book is really awesome. John Steinbeck is a really cool author. I mean, this book is really neat. I'm not just saying that. You're giving specifics about the book. So the end of the book is really gloomy. Well, why? What makes it sad? Because Lenny had to be shot. So you're stating how you feel about the book, but you also need to remember to bring the book back into it. Questions on summary versus reader response. So in a summary, are you including your thoughts?
No.
Are you saying every single detail?
No.
No. In a reader response, are you giving every single detail about the book?
No. I think you're not.
Yeah, you're giving your thoughts. So last thing, citations. Can anyone read the definition for a citation? Nelson.
A quotation taken from or referencing to a book that requires
Recognition.
recognition of the author.
Yeah, so you're recognizing who wrote this. You're telling me who wrote this and why it's important. For example, the narrator from The Scarlet Ibis states, quotation marks, I began to weep and the tear-blurred vision in red before me looked very familiar. Quotation marks, parentheses, page number, parentheses, period. If you do not put parentheses in the page number, it is plagiarism. Anytime, bless you, anytime you are taking anybody else's ideas or words, you need to let us know where you got it, put it in quotation marks, and put page numbers in. Anytime you're taking a direct quotation, it needs to be direct. You can't change this and say, quotation marks, I began to cry and the tear-blurred eyes in red before me seemed very familiar. Quotation marks 13, period. That is not a direct quotation. How it is written in the book needs to be how it is written on your paper. Anybody have questions about anything we went over or doesn't have anything filled out on their sheet?
Are you collecting those questions?
Not yet. Alright, so with that over with, take out your stories, the Castle of Amontillado. Thank you.
Cassie.
Alright, so Castle of Amontillado. We read up to page 4, was it? 5? Okay, so what were you supposed to do over the weekend?
Oh, watch it all.
Well, that's good. You're out of the game. What were you supposed to do over your long weekend?
Answer the question.
Answer the questions. And all of you did it, right? Alright, so let's go over these. Go to the first page.
Wait, I can't find it.
Does everybody have a story? Does anybody need a story? Okay, so Fortunato. Second one, the narrator offers some advice on seeking revenge. What is his advice? Yeah. Punish without what? Punish without fear and without getting caught, right? Get your revenge, don't get caught doing it, is what he says. Third question, cross out Fortunato, write narrator. Who is the narrator talking to? Malia, you asked this on Friday. Do you remember the answer? Who's he talking to? Third question, first page.
He's talking to you.
Yeah, he's talking to the reader. He's telling this story to you.
Wait, so you looked over like who is the narrator talking to?
Yeah. So not who is Fortunato talking to. It's just a little typo, so cross that off and do narrator. Who is the narrator talking to? He's talking to you. You're reading it. Fourth question. How does the narrator behave around his friend, Fortunato? Kaylee, did you say it?
Yeah, like all smiley, kind of like.
I put fake.
Yeah, fake is a good one though because, I mean, you know, but Fortunato thinks they're still friends. He's still smiling inside, or smiling around him, but inside he's laughing in his face. So you got it coming, buddy. So then you've got, what does this tell us about the narrator's social class? And this is referring to the paragraph that talks about the wine.
Rich.
They're rich. How'd you get that?
Because it talks about
Yeah, is this wine cheap that they're drinking?
No.
No, and if you're right, Lauren.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it says, to practice imposure or fraud upon the British and Australian millionaires.
Yes, it's already talking about millionaires right there. And if you're buying $100 bottles of wine, does that mean you're poor? No. What does this also say? How does he feel about himself? How does the narrator feel about himself? Allison.
Like he's better.
Yeah. Is he confident? Is he a little bit arrogant?
Wait, is that for himself?
Yep, attitude towards himself. He says, I was skillful in the Italian vintages myself and bought largely whenever I could. Yeah, he's cocky. He's arrogant. That's like me saying, I'm really good at basketball. I'll take you all on and win.
Yeah, Hannah.
All of you against me. He's arrogant about it. How does he feel about other people as well? Last one on here, Lauren.
I said wicked and revenge.
Yeah. Other people important to him?
I put
No,
fake
there's-
and nice.
Yeah, everyone else is just sort of there. Yeah. Good people.
Replacement.
All right. Yeah, very replaceable. Page 2. How does the narrator manipulate or fool Fortunato? And we talked about this one. Alyssa, you're the one that we talked about it with.
Okay, someone tries to mess with his ego
Yes. How so? What is he doing?
by like saying that he's good at something and then being like, oh never mind, I can get someone else who's better.
Yeah, I put because it makes him jealous of his opponent.
Yeah, exactly, Lauren.
I put he's sweet talking to him and trying to say he can master wine and like wanting him to take him down to the vaults like on purpose.
But at the same time, he's saying, no, you don't need to do it. No, I have somebody else. Good. All right, so flip it over. Page 3. If the narrator thinks that Fortunato is afflicted with a severe cold, why does the narrator tell Fortunato that he looks remarkably well when the characters
To
first
be
meet?
nice and something.
like lure
Keep going.
like to lure him into his like trick.
Yeah, and what were you saying?
I just know that.
Yeah, if they were going down to this ball, and he already said, oh, the walls are really damp and there's niter everywhere. But you look terrible. You should not go down there. What is Fortunato going to do?
Go down there.
Is he going to?
No.
He's automatically saying, no, you look terrible. Like, you should not go down there.
No.
If somebody's
he
telling you,
wouldn't
you
go down
look
there.
really sick and this is a really nasty place,
They wouldn't
no. But if I said, yeah, you look pretty good. Huh, your health
You
is
look good.
fine.
Just go down there.
Let's go. Then he's going to be, yeah, I'm feeling better. So he's going to go down there. So, what instructions did the narrator give his servants?
Not to leave the house.
Not to leave the house. And, hey guys, don't leave. I'll be back in the morning. Don't leave. This is happening during Mardi Gras. They're going out and they want to have fun. What are those servants going to do?
Leave.
Leave. They're not going to stay. If somebody says to you, stay put, I'll be back in the morning, I'm gonna go have fun at this party, I'm not gonna be here at all, but you need to stay here. Second
It
I'm out
sounds
the
like it's only putting them up for it. It's putting them up.
well, yeah, the second I'm out the door, what is everyone gonna do?
Leave.
Leave, they're booking it. So why does he do this?
You can set them up.
What does this tell us about him?
He knows they'll leave eventually.
Yeah, he knows they're gonna leave. He's not stupid. He's a manipulative person. So what does this tell us? He's smart. He knows they're gonna leave. Last one. Why do you think Fortunato walks in an unsteady way?
He's smart and creepy.
Could be.
He's kind of unsure of going to the cellars, or maybe he's just drunk. Like that's what I put also question mark.
He's drunk. He's getting him drunk. Flip it over. Page 4. What does the underlined passage suggest about the narrator? It says, you are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy as once I was. What is this telling us about the narrator? Yeah, he's jealous of him. He's saying, you're all of these good things. Everyone really likes you. I was once like that. What is it also saying? Yeah, he's comparing. He's a little bit of a suck-up too, isn't he? Oh, you're great. That's what's so sarcastic.
And think about it.
Yeah, but he's really jealous of this person. So then we've got this next one. Cross out Fortunato again and write narrator.
You are bad.
I know, I'm really terrible. I apologize. At least I'm fixing it for you right now. Do you really think the narrator is concerned about his friend's health?
No.
No. Not at all. Why not? Yeah, he doesn't kill him. He doesn't care if he's sick or not. He just needs to get him down there first. Yeah. So why does the narrator want Fortunato to drink some of his wine?
So he will get drunk and he'll exactly know what's going on.
Yeah, so he's drunk. He's already walking in an unsteady way, so he's already a little off his rocker there. Now he's just going to get him even more drunk, and then it's going to be easier to take control of. Flip it over, page 5. How does the coat of arms or motto relate to the story and the narrator? First of all, what is the coat of arms?
It's like something stepping on something that's crushing.
So, yeah, Lauren.
It's something to represent your history. Maybe like
Yep.
pictures or something put together.
Yeah, what is on theirs? What is on their coat of arms?
Human foot.
Of gold.
Yeah, and what is that serpent doing?
Stepping down.
No, they're fighting.
That serpent is about to bite me, and I am stomping down on that. What's that telling us about the narrator?
Always trying to get revenge.
Yeah, you're coming at me, I'm coming at you harder. I'm gonna win. Don't mess with me. That is what he's saying. So that is where we ended.
No, there's two more.
We didn't get that far though. Does anybody have any questions about those or anything that has been happening in the stories this far? Nicole. Alright, which ones?
Why did you give these instructions? Please tell us about the
Alright, can anybody help her? Page 3. What instructions does he give to the servants and why did he give these
I'll
instructions?
tell them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he says, do not leave. And then like he's trying to get, because he knows they're gonna leave. He's trying to get them. He's got to plan.
Because he told us that it's gonna be gone. And he said, oh, I'll be back at a certain time, so they're gonna leave.
Yeah, and they're gonna be
And
back for
then
that certain
they're
time.
gonna be back at the
Yeah, perfect. So he tells them stay put. But I'm gonna leave. They're gonna hightail it out of there so fast. And then he gives these instructions because he knows they're going to leave. Questions? Dorothy?
I didn't get how does the narrative
Which one?
the one
Page 3? 2. How does the narrator manipulate or School Fortunato. Alyssa.
I'm jealous and messing with his ego.
Yeah, he's messing with his ego when he says, like if I went up to you guys and I asked you a question about English, if I asked you a question about the Scarlet Ibis, but I said to you, forget it, no, I'll go ask Miss Beauchamp, she's gonna know better than you guys will. What are you guys gonna wanna say? You're gonna wanna start giving me answers and telling me that, hey, I know this, I can do this, I'm not incompetent. That's what he's doing, he's playing on his ego, he's letting him know, I can do this. Just give me a chance to do it. Any other questions?
Absolutely not.
No, okay, we have 5 minutes yet, so don't be packing up. You had a sheet, language in context, take it out. Does anybody not have it? Is anybody gone?
Verbal sheet. Ashley, did you even get it? What? Did you even get it? You're all done. I know.
Alright, so
I thought you said I didn't get it.
I'm gonna turn it off.